Good morning, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Market opens up here in about 2 minutes. Real quick, when I say live, what I mean is that I'm recording myself, seeing the information for the very first time compared to having already recorded everything and now coming back and explaining what's already happened in hindsight. So this is not a trade recap. This is not some sort of post commentary. I'm literally recording myself, seeing everything for the first time. In other words, if you just want a raw, unscripted, nitty-gritty look into what it's like to be a day trader, how day trading can play out, then this will be a video for you. So I will go ahead and pause, and I'll be back at the open. Currently watching Tesla options here. Want to see Tesla ideally get up to right around 833-ish, which seems to be relatively close because Tesla can move very quickly. But 833, I'd be interested in potentially trying to build a position of some put contracts, meaning I would want to see the price then come down after I get filled. Like I said, 833 is the area where I'd start to potentially take some action. So I'm watching the price of Tesla stock needs to get up to that 833 mark, and then at that point I'll have to see what the price of the options actually are, because there's not a direct correlation between. All right, there we go. I got up as high as 832 and then started to come back down. Bummer. Okay, well, let's see if it can get back up there. I'll go ahead and pause for now. All right, I'm going to try for a single put here at 1650. So just one. So I'm in there. Not going to make much on it, but I'm also going to not lose much on it either if it ultimately goes against me. So I'm not opposed to picking up a couple more if need be. See if it wants to come down here. So all out there for a $60 move. And yeah, in hindsight, should have picked up some more, but not quite sure. Is this really going to roll back over? Is this just a little breath before it moves back upwards? And if you're not sure on something, like I said, if you think there's a chance, and to be fair to myself, I was right. I was a chance, and there was a chance, and it worked out, and I made money. But it's not like I was super, super confident in it, which is why I only did do one contract. But yeah. So overall, nothing big, but like I said, was more than anything else on that one, risk concerned, as I didn't want to, start off with something drastic in the sense of, a bigger loss than I really felt like dealing with my first trade. But now I have a small little bit of breathing room at $60. And in hindsight, yeah, I was right to think that, there's a chance. And now this is turned into something more. But in all actuality, maybe interested in picking up some calls now if this thing wants to drop down some more. But wouldn't be interested in that unless this thing got down around the 810 mark. But overall, starting with $60. And just that fast, Tesla is back up. What I'm now very curious about is the trend line right there, and I'm going to keep an eye on that moving forward. Maybe it can help structure a trade plan moving forward, but we'll see what happens. But wanted to give a quick little update on that. Watching 237.50 here as a potential area to get short. So if I'm going to take on Nvidia, I don't know if I mentioned that, nvda. So 237.50, got to see the price come down to that level. And then I would be interested in potentially shorting there as it's starting to drop. Yeah, the question is, do we have a trend line here starting to form now? But yeah, 237.50 is what I'm watching. I'll go ahead and pause. Okay, dropping down here again, maybe. Look at that, bounced right off that trend line once again. And there it goes, back up off of it. Okay, I will pause. Okay, maybe something's coming into play here. Or maybe it's going to just bounce off that trend line once again. I apologize for pausing, but like I said, these are live, so I truly don't know what's coming next, and I'd hate to miss the entry point if it does happen, but as you're now witnessing, it's just not happening. So maybe a little bit of wasted time, but I could also argue, hey, this is just the real life looking at trading. Sometimes you'll be watching a level, and nope. Watching it again, nope. Watching it again, nope. And we'll see if it eventually wants to give me an entry point or not. But as of now, nope. Well, and as of now, definitely not looking like it'll happen, as this thing just completely turned around. So Nvidia, I'm going to tuck away for now, but let's look at Tesla. And yeah, I played that one right. Sure, I could have made more because it did move down more than what I thought, but certainly never got any sort of follow through. And now Tesla is pushing up towards highs. So maybe try to get some sort of position here, but yeah, try for some puts at 17. Actually, 1650 is what I should be at. 1650. There we go. So looking for some puts, thinking that this thing is going to get, run out of steam a little bit and need to take a bit of a breath. But it'll definitely need to come up over 840 for me to be interested. But I'll go ahead and pause. All right, watching Tesla here, 838. In there at 838.50. This thing has just made such a big move. I got to think that it wants to come down at least a bit. But we've got to be aware of the fact that it is a counter trend trade. Would love to see 837 minimum. But it's kind of goofing around here too much. So taking half off. All right, out there for basically a break-even trade. Might still come down, but had to be very aware of the fact that it is still a bullish context, and I needed it to happen relatively quick. Gave it plenty of time, and while it did make a move down originally, just didn't make enough of a move to justify me taking profits out. And now you can see it's still putzing around here, and actually a little bit of a green candle there. So play that one right. And as it goes back up. So yeah, I just didn't get the move that I was right. The move happened. It did start to come down, but I was wrong in the sense of it didn't come down enough to make it, really a worthwhile situation. But at least I hopped out and took my $1.27. So, all right, well, I'm going to keep looking around. What's going on with OXY here? All right, I will pause. All right, hopping in here, 240. And let's see if this thing can at least get down here to potentially test that trend line, ideally break through it. So making a little bit of progress through 240, but good to see that it failed. But what I really want to see is for the SPY to get down here to 232 and then break down below it. And if that happens, that should assist me here with the nvda trade. So that's the current plan right now. I am in there at 240 on the dot. But I will go ahead and pause for now because I don't know if this thing's just going to start to chop around for a while. And if that's the case, well, or am I about to get stopped out here? Well, I will pause, and if it looks like I'm going to be able to have some money in my pocket, or if I'm going to be getting stopped out here, I'll get the video rolling at that point. Thought I had the video rolling. I did not. Stopped out there, and now it's starting to come back down. But just didn't want to risk anything. So now I'm down 131, which is fine. You know, I was never up a huge amount. I was up, what, $60. Now, if I was up $6,000 and now I'm in the red, that, you know, that's a little bit different. But, and really just a question of, do I want to try to take that again if it comes back down to 240 area? But I just, it's still too much in this uptrend, and it's just not worth the risk. Even if it comes down, so be it. But I really just feel like it's a 50-50 at this point, and I'm not okay with 50-50. So I will move on from it. All right, trying to pick up some calls here at 22.50. Okay, got those. Looking for this to break out here through this trend line. At least get up to 844, if not even higher than that. Took one off the table. Just because not as smooth as a breakout as I wanted, but you still got to give it a chance. So I'm still giving it a chance with that one contract that I do have. So this could still very, very much so be a losing trade. It just won't be as big of a losing trade because I locked in some profits and I lessened my share size. There we go. And out there for a nice little breakout trade. So back into the green by $33, but definitely choppy day, clearly, as far as the P&L is concerned. Green to red, back to green. And that is the problem with the smaller contract size. You know, I would have loved to have taken out another one where I did and still have one left. But at the same time, if that was a failed trend line break, then, you know, that would have been a much bigger loss. But yeah, this is, and I will say, hey, Clay, how does your chat room work? Right here. I did not find this alert. Second chance here, he drew this pattern. I saw the pattern. I thought, hey, that looks good to me. Now, did I just strictly go on it because he, you know, threw out this pattern? And then he's actually... So he'll see this when I put I think he watches these YouTube videos. I'm not sure. But anyways, so right there, how does the chat room work? Like I said, he threw out this alert right there, drew in those lines, drew in that bull flag pattern. Now that's not, I don't just blindly follow, obviously, and I don't encourage you to blindly follow, but saw it, I agreed with it, drew the trend line, and wow, did he absolutely nail that. And again, in hindsight, you know, that's the good thing about taking a bigger position is because you can scale out. The downside is, okay, if you're wrong, then yeah, those losses are going to be bigger. But in this situation, I was on the fence, should I take 2 or 3? And I went with 2, and like I said, it's easy to sit here and say, I should have done a bigger share size or a bigger, you know, contract size. Well, yeah, because I now know what happens. But had the price just collapsed against me, well, then I'd be saying, geez, why did I do 2? I should have only done 1, right? So you can never really win in hindsight. But you know, for full just disclosure's sake, that is a benefit of the bigger position size. I could have, so I was fine with my first 2 sales, right? The first one I sold, I wasn't quite sure, but the one thing I did do right was I still kept that one contract just in case, and it did break out. But then at that point, okay, I sold that one, and I wish I would have had one more because that would have added on at least $100 more to the trade, if not even more. But now sometimes I'll do 5 contracts, but 5 was never really a choice here because that would have been too much risk. But yeah, so second chance, fantastic alert, thank you. And for those of you that are wondering, how does the chat room work? There's how it works. Because I was watching other stuff. I didn't notice that on Tesla, but because of, and he's gone through my program, my training, so I know that he knows what he's looking at. And when you see that, it's like, oh yeah, good call. And I benefited from that. So, I mean, that's the power of surrounding yourself with quality traders, with educated traders. Yes, you still have to be able to think for yourself, but it's just a teamwork because I was just looking at other stuff. But thanks to him, he was able to, bring me back to green on the day. And the other lesson is just that's why risk management matters because, yeah, it wasn't fun to take the loss on Nvidia, but look at this thing. Look at that. So let's think about this from a very real-life educational standpoint. Had I gotten stubborn on Nvidia and not stopped out, right there would have fooled me because it came down and I would have been feeling great. Oh, yes. But look what it did after that. Up and up and up and up. And that loss of 192 would have been so much bigger. So think about that. Because I was disciplined, though, and took that loss, a very lackluster trade on Tesla because, like I said, it could have been so much better had I taken better size. But so it was a very lackluster trade. Nothing exactly to write home about. But even with that, I was still able to bring myself back to green. How? Because of that. Because I kept my loss under control. In other words, and I know you longer time listeners have heard me say this before, I didn't have to trade like a superhero. If you find yourself needing to trade like a superhero in order to get your losses back, your risk management is not how it should be. And like I said, there's probably, I don't know, maybe there's going to be some trolls that show up and make fun of me because of that trade. But I hope I do because they'll be proving my point. Like, yeah, I agree. That trade could have been better. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a grand slam, but it was still enough to put me back into the green. And that, like I said, I hope some trolls show up because they'll help me prove the point about how you don't have to be a superhero trader to get your losses back if you're taking good losses in the first place. Because again, that loss would have been way bigger. And, that's just the power of risk management. And, so I would have definitely been out by now with that third contract. Not like I could sit here and say, but regardless, lackluster trading, because of risk management, it didn't require to be a superhero. So many educational lessons here. I mean, let's think about it. The power of being a part of a trading community. Now, would I love for you to join mine? Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that. But I will also say, if you feel more comfortable with somebody else's trading community, and be very careful with the free trading communities where there's no screener, there's no filter, anybody can sign up. You're going to have pumpers and dumpers. You're going to have all sorts of sketchy stuff going on. But it's amazing how when you put and in my situation, a small price filter, just a small price requirement, how much of the riff draft it keeps out. Because the pumpers and dumpers, the trolls, the keyboard warriors, I mean, I'll speak bluntly. They're losers. And a loser is not going to be able to even afford what I charge, even though what I charge is dirt cheap. So I would argue, you know what? If you can join, and again, I'm not saying it's only mine, but look, if there's another community and they have that they're charging money and you feel more comfortable with them, cool, go with them because their pricing is going to keep the riff draft out also. But so right there, lesson number 1, the power of being surrounded by quality traders, by traders that have educated themselves. Because you only have 2 eyeballs. The second lesson, the power of managing risk, right? Just cut the losses. It's annoying. It's not pleasant, but whatever. Cut the loss. Why? Because then you don't even have to trade that well in order to get your gains back. Because, well, you kept the loss small in the first place. Let's go back to Nvidia. So you can see this. So it pulled back here. Okay, it's going to come back, but now it's starting to return right back upwards. So from that, if I was stubborn, and look at that. Please break this high. It'll make my lesson look even better. Come on, Nvidia. Get up there through 242.30. Come on, my friend. Let's make this lesson even that much better. But point here being, had I gotten stubborn, nope, I'm not, there we go. Had I not cut the loss, well, look at this. Nvidia went up, came down here a little bit, teased that it was going to come back down, and is now going back up over those highs right there, which I would love to see just big green candle here. Come on, Nvidia, help me with a real life learning lesson here. But you get the idea. So all sorts of stuff going on here. But Sure, I'm not walking away with a whole lot of money, but from an educational standpoint, and given this is an educational channel, I'm very happy with how the day ultimately played out, because I didn't know how it was going to play out. But hey, we have a bunch of real life lessons, and I understand. Well, here's another lesson. Little quiz question. If you're like, this video was terrible, this dude, look at this thing going up more. This dude only made $33. Lesson number 4, you're focused on the wrong things. If you think that trading is all about making money and how much money you can make, you have been brainwashed by the social media and people always posting wins and gains and all that sort of stuff. Because and don't take my word for it. Go find a trader that you trust and say, hey, what's more important? How much money you make or how well you manage risk? And any trader that's been in the game for a long time is going to say, yeah, any blind drunk monkey can make money. Anybody can throw a dart on a trade and just happen to make money. But as far as when it comes to managing risk, holding onto those gains, growing those gains consistently, that's a whole nother ball game. So like I said, lesson number 4, if you're just like, this was the worst video ever, well, I would argue you're not really focused on the right things in your educational journey. But that's all I have. So I'm super excited about this video. I mean, usually I'm like bummed out. I got to post a video on YouTube where I made $33, but I'm very happy about this one because there's just so many learning lessons that came about from it. So if you do enjoy these live trade videos, do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment below. And if you are interested in joining my private community, let me get some information for you. So here you go. Just go to claytrader.com/team. And like I mentioned earlier, very, very modest pricing. It's $99, not per month. I'll repeat that again, not per month, but for 3 months of access. So $99 gives you 3 months. If you do the math, it breaks down to $8.25 per week. And as I always say, I am more than confident that you're going to get at least $8.25 per week of value. Now, if you go and do the full year, then technically the way that breaks down is it comes out to be 3 months free. But like I said, if you just want to test the waters, well then right there. And you'll get the exact same access to what you saw here in this video. So again, if you enjoy these live trade videos, hit that like button, leave a simple comment down below. And I don't know, maybe did you notice another learning lesson that I'm kind of overlooking right now? Share those down below too in the comment section. But hitting that like button, leaving a basic comment, go a long way in communicating to me that you enjoy these videos. And as long as I know people are enjoying, I will continue to make them. So get out there and manage that risk. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.